Hello again, I am the Video Geek, and this is yet another video review. Today I'll be looking at the Microsoft IntelliMouse with IntelliEye. This is the optical mouse by Microsoft. And remember folks, these videos are completely unedited, and these are only my opinions. Okay, what you're looking at here is kind of like a generational thing of mice. This is the first, or near the first Microsoft mouse with the standard serial connection, and the other mouse, which came a little later, was the PS2 connection, and the IntelliMouse with the middle button, using it as a scroll or a button itself. And of course, this is the new mouse from Microsoft. It's the Microsoft IntelliMouse with IntelliEye. Now, the big thing that makes this one a little different than the older ones, of course, is the USB connection, as well as the optic on the bottom. And this mouse goes for approximately $50 Canadian. And as you can see, this is not the fanciest one that Microsoft puts out. Microsoft does put out another one which is a little bit more expensive. It's around $90 Canadian, and it has a couple buttons here as well as a couple buttons over here. But for my purposes, and I do a nice bit of gaming as well as applications, I find that this one here was enough for my purposes, and spending another $30 or $40 didn't really justify it. So this one here again is around $50 Canadian, a very good price. One thing this one does have as well, it did come with an adapter, so if you don't have a USB connector, you can actually still use the PS2 connection. And of course, you have to remember with USB, if you do have to go into safe mode in Windows 98 or Windows Millennium or Windows 2000, your USB mouse will not work in safe mode because it does disable the USB functions. So that's kind of like, well, some people would consider that maybe a nuisance, and I do as well, a little bit of a nuisance that the PSP functions do not operate in safe mode. So if you want to, you can just plug it into your PS2 slot and leave it there. This is, of course, the USB has many pluses, along with accuracy and plug and play. You can take it out of your system and plug it into your laptop or any other USB compatible computer that you have in the office or at home. Let me plug in the mouse and you can have a look at the optic eye at the bottom. One thing you should note as well, which is kind of cool, if you plug this into a PS2 connection on the back of your computer or a USB connection, you'll still get, of course, the optic, and which will work fine. The biggest plus from these mice, in my opinion, are that you never have to clean them, so you never have to take out the wheel and clean out all the dust, which is a definite plus. I've had this mouse for a few months now, and it's been very reliable. And the other plus with this, of course, is that you can use it on any surface. You do not need a mouse pad. So that's a big plus as well. You can use it on wood. You can if you wanted to, of course, you could use it on a mouse pad as well. Just briefly going over the button layout on this mouse. Of course, this is your left button and your right button, depending on how you want to use them, if you're right-handed or left-handed. Microsoft mice have always been designed more for the right-handed person. And of course you have the center button, which is actually a button or a wheel up and down. And this does come in handy, especially when you're playing games or on the internet using your browser. So certainly an excellent mouse to have if you're a gamer, as well as if you're doing any kind of web scrolling through websites. The mouse is kind of an interesting history as well. In the 1960s, a guy by the name of Engelbart of SRI company actually developed the mouse, and from there it was called Star, and it was first commercially used by Xerox, and I believe it cost quite a lot at that time. And then of course Apple Macintosh, and then Bill Gates came around and kind of stole the idea, and the rest is history. So it's the mouse has got a long history, 40 years almost. So you'd never think it, but it does, and certainly a long time in the computer industry. So to sum up this review, I give this mouse a 10 out of 10. It's a relatively cheap mouse. It does have the optical function, which is excellent for many reasons. Of course, the two biggest reasons, of course, you don't need any kind of pad to put it on. You can actually even put it on your leg if you want to, and to browse the internet. And you never have to clean this thing, which is very, very good. So a 10 out of 10 for this Microsoft mouse. It's called the Intella mouse with IntelliEye. So again, my name is Rodney Reynolds, and please visit my website at www.thevideogeek.com. Next week I'll have a brand new video review, so check back then. Until then, take care.